Perched high above a valley floor, there's a landscape of beauty and mystery where life springs eternal and in miniature.
These look like little miniature hammerhead sharks.
Where the cycle of life is littered all around.
These are jaws of small mammals.
And where the ancient and the future sometimes collide.
It's ground zero for so many things that are important to California, especially right here in the Altamont Pass.
These fascinating outcroppings of sandstone rock formed at the bottom of an inland sea millions of years ago rise suddenly and unexpectedly out of the rolling hills of the Altamont Pass in the East Bay between Livermore and Brentwood. They're known as the Vasco Caves, and they nurtured nature and human history in many very important ways.
The open road sometimes leads to and through the gorgeous protected lands of the immense East Bay Regional Park District, 120,000 acres of nature and history in Alameda and Contra Costa counties. Vasco Caves are among the East Bay Regional Park District's most valuable crown jewels. To protect their unique and sensitive natural and archaeological qualities, the caves are accessible to the public only on guided tours.
Well, we're going to go to the top of a rock to take a look at one of the central rock pools where we first discovered this longhorn fairy shrimp.
Doug Bell is a wildlife biologist with the Park District. On a winter's day, alive with water, he guides me in search of small living treasures, making their homes in this rocky refuge.
These rocks provide habitat for invertebrates like fairy shrimp, and provide nesting potholes and shelves for all kinds of birds, especially raptors like prairie falcons, golden eagles, barn owls. They all nest in this habitat.
It's the tiny longhorn fairy shrimp we're especially looking for today, one of 3 species that live in these rocks and rare in this region.
Fairy shrimp are a crustacean, so they're very closely related to things like lobsters and the shrimp that you eat in the restaurants and that sort of thing. But they're just very minute, very tiny.
The small, shallow basins they live in only come to life when, or if, precious winter rains create pools of water in these rocks.
Oh, we got a pool here.
Oh, yeah.
Ah!
Here we have a rock pool.
That's what we're looking for.
It is exactly what we're looking for.
These little pools are dry during long summer months and can remain dry during droughts, with the next generation of shrimp eggs lying dormant, sometimes for years. But when rain finally does arrive, miniature aquatic savannas like this one suddenly emerge, packed with predators and prey.
They've evolved in these rock environments over millions of years in this complex dance of life, and
the tango of life.
The tango of life, but it's a big tango. It's a big dance.
These tiny dancers come and go swiftly and mysteriously, and Doug is trying to better understand their complex choreography.
The more we look into it, the more questions we have, just in trying to understand the system.
Each pool's ecosystem and the species of life it supports is unique. In this one, we spot minute seed shrimp and flatworms, which are the ferocious lions of this savanna. We're hoping especially to discover the endangered longhorn fairy shrimp, one of 3 species that can be found around here. But this particular pool doesn't pan out.
I'm sorry we're not seeing some fairy shrimp in here,
but the day is young.
But the day is young, and so are we. But one way or the other, I would say it is just darn beautiful.
Yeah. You know what's so spectacular about these rocks too is just the diversity of life. I mean, look at these lichens.
I know. Look, the colors.
A rich diversity of neon-colored lichen covers sandstone cliffs, carved into spectacular patterns by millennia of wind and rain. In the sea of grassland, these rocks are an island and offer critical habitat for bats, cliff swallows, and hunters such as owls. The remains of their meals lay all around us.
And you've got a little skull right here?
Yeah,
Doug?
there's a skull. There we go.
Wow, this would be a little vole.
I believe so.
The caves and the surrounding windy rangeland of the Altamont Pass provide perfect conditions for owls and other soaring predators to fly and feast, and for wind to be harvested for humanity's purposes. Wind farms here generate an important source of clean energy, but their whirling blades can also collide with and kill birds we need to protect.
We happen to have in the hills around here one of the densest nesting populations of golden eagles in the world. So what we've been trying to do is research ways to lessen those impacts.
Doug and his team have been putting GPS satellite tags on golden eagles to better understand how they use the landscape with the goal of minimizing threats to them turbines posed, so ancient hunters and future technologies can coexist comfortably on these breezy slopes. Meantime, we two Dougs continue our search for at least one of the 3 species of fairy shrimp that can sometimes be found in Vasco caves. And our persistence eventually pays off.
You got some little things in there.
We've got them.
You do?
We have fairy shrimp.
No.
Yes.
No, come on.
Oh my goodness, wow.
You do?
They're really small,
Oh
yes.
my God, look, no kidding?
Fairy shrimp. We found one of the species. Not the longhorn, but maybe even better.
This is actually the first time that right here we're documenting the presence of California fairy shrimp in this particular pool. And there's no longhorns in it right now, so it's so interesting.
Wow. So
Yeah.
this is a surprise for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
A discovery
totally.
for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing the California fairy shrimp in this unexpected pool is a valuable surprise.
So, in your attempt to unravel this mystery, this millions of years in the making, a little moment like this is one small piece of trying to fit that puzzle together.
That's right.
A new data point for Doug as he and science slowly piece together a picture of life in miniature on top of a realm of rocks.